All right, I'm just waiting for the computer to get running. There we go. And I think we're good. I think we're live. All right. So let's get cutting. We have 10 hours in on the saw already. So we got 10 more to go. Let's get a few done today. So we're cutting out Turkish drop spindles again today. So we're cutting a 1/2 inch thick Argentinian ligamente, otherwise known as Vera wood. This wood is very, very, very dense and hard. It's also very heavy. It's a very interesting color. Hey guys, welcome in. So we are cutting Vera wood, Argentinian ligamente. So that's one of the nice things about scroll saws. You can do internal cuts. So we just cut out this mortise. Which is pretty cool. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hey Francis, how's it going? Welcome in. So this is one of the hardest and densest woods I have. But we have a bunch of different woods to cut today, so we'll get this one out of the way. Yeah, this wood is definitely a blade killer. Hey Jay Dizzle, how's it going? So we are reviewing the scroll saw. This is a Buck Tools 16-inch scroll saw. They just came out with it. So I'm in the midst of putting 20 hours of cutting time on it. Happy holidays to you as well. Yeah, things are going good. You know, I think everybody is waiting till all the sales to start shopping. I guess that's okay. I think I do the same thing. So there's too many people who review tools that don't actually use them for any time. Hey Patricia, yes I do. The question is, do I use the spindles I make? I do. Spinning is my zen. If you know, you know. Yeah, I do my majority of my spinning on spinning wheels, but I do the majority of my spinning on spindles, but I do quite a bit of spinning on wheels as well. Is that okay? Is that a spiral blade? No, it's not. It's a flat blade. Spiral blades, you can cut in all directions. So basically, they take a blade, put teeth on it, and then twist it. And it's great for cutting in all directions, but it tends to leave a pretty nasty finish to it. So, hey, Michael, welcome in. Patricia, you knit and you sew and you crochet and you do lace making. So spinning should be right up your alley here. The beautiful thing about spinning is there's no counting, so you don't have to worry about, dropping a stitch. There's no counting. And there's definitely something just amazing about using the yarn that you've spun. You got a small Ryobi bandsaw. Fine straight really. Okay, let me reread that. You looked for those 360 blades, yeah, the spiral blades. You got a small Ryobi branded saw, and you can only find straight blades. Okay, yeah. Are you in America? If you're in America or Canada, if you go to bearwoods.com, They have a really, really big Arizona. Yeah, they have a huge selection of blades. They carry Pegasus blades and Niqua blades, which are Flying Dutchman blades. And yeah, you definitely can get some spiral blades out of that. So spiral blades do have their purpose. If you look at the videos I made a big sign that said anti-disestablishment Terryism on, and that thing was like 4 feet long, maybe a little bit longer. So you needed the spiral blade because it was just way too big for the saw. Yeah, I think it's like the animal. I think it's BEAR. You could be wrong. Yeah, so it's BEAR, like the animal. So if you look at their blades, shot by department, scroll saw. So all scroll saw blades, Pegasus and Niqua. So you can get sample packs. Modified geometry, metal cutting, pinned. Yeah. There's the Niqua spirals. One day you might try spinning, but too many projects to go at the moment. It's a deep rabbit hole. You know, the more whips you have, the better. Hey, Dale. Welcome in. You know, I'm still finding project fags. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Thank you for the sub. Not a problem. I assume your saw does take plain end blades, right? Pretty sure. Because I do not think they make spiral blades for pins. Yeah, there's a couple other mail order places that are good, but I've had really good luck with Bearwoods. And the sample pack is a great idea because, yeah, you can try several different types. It might surprise you. You might like a blade that you never would have ordered. So there we go. A little sanding there. All right, we're down to 3 more of these, and then we'll move on to a different wood. Yeah, this stuff is so hard. Let's see. I should make snowflake coasters or holiday themed things. That's what you're going to be making. Do I sell my works? I do. I've been making these full time for since 2013, so 12 years now. Prior to this, I made a lot of wooden toys and signs. You know, if you check out my channel, you know, I do design a bunch of stuff, and then, you know, I put the patterns out for free. And I've done some Steve Good patterns. If you do a search for Steve Good scroll saw, I believe it's he's got a blog spot page. Anyways, he's got thousands of free patterns. All right, so to prevent blowout, I'm using reverse teeth blades. So the blade, the majority of it, the teeth are facing down, and on the bottom, like the last inch, they're facing up. Steve Good. So with the reverse tooth, it comes up, and it gives you a nice clean finish on the bottom. See if we can pull this up. Okay, search for Steve Good patterns. The website is stevegood.com. Yes, that's pretty good. So there's just a bunch of patterns. You click on them, you download a PDF. It's a very good resource. What's that? It's not a tools. Okay, I have no idea. Hang on.
It's not tools. Dude's like, hey, I can get a lot of time.
Okay.
I'm like, that is not tools, Ben.
Okay. My girlfriend's watching TV. I don't have my headphones in, so I don't know what you're talking about. No. That's why I'm here. You know, I'd like to get these hours in to do a review for the saw, but yeah, I'm doing okay. That's why we're kind of here. Yeah, he's got a bunch of ornaments too. Hello. I'm just gonna say, hey, how's it going? Let's see how we're doing. So we still have 2 larger ones to cut out, and then I think we're gonna go to maybe some mahogany next. We'll see. So we are currently cutting 1/2-inch thick ligamente. This is Vera wood or Argentinian ligamente. Real ligamente is endangered, and you're not allowed to use it. This stuff, so ligamente they used to use in tall sailing ships for bushings, because it wouldn't rot and it's very oily. So the big tall sailing ships depleted the tree supply. So this is from Argentina. It's a different tree. It's a different type of tree. It's not even in the same genus, I believe, but it definitely shares some similarities with it. And I'm being fed blueberries, so
Good.
thank you. Yeah, sometimes woods can be very confusing. Like you can go to Menards and they have mahogany. Well, it's not true mahogany or genuine mahogany. It's the same wood that they make cheap plywood out of. That Luan stuff. So there's a website, it's wooddatabase.com. They also have a book you can buy. And yeah, it's a database of woods. And it's really interesting if you're into that kind of thing. So if you find a weird wood, you can look it up and see what the density is, where it comes from, if it's endangered. It's pretty neat. It'll also let you know if people are commonly allergic to it. So you can decide, if you should wear a dust mask or a respirator. I'm pretty good with most exotic woods, but I am sensitive to some rosewoods. There's some rosewoods that I refuse to use, and if I have to use them, if I have gifted it or whatever, I will wear a respirator. It'll be the last thing I do for the day, and then I'll come in, throw on a dust mask, and vacuum everything up. Yeah, you gotta be careful around woods, especially exotic woods. Hey Al, how's it going? Hey Devin. Confidence, right? I've done this before. Yeah, so if you guys are new to the stream, my name's Scott. My dad brought home a smooth operator. Yes, smooth operator. I've been using the scroll saw since I was 12, so that would be 1987. There was a few years in there where girls got in the way, but for the most part. Have I ever tried making composite bows? I have not. She's got headphones on. I'm good. She can't hear me. So primarily I do a lot of project videos. I do some review videos. That's what we're working on now. There's a high demand for it. Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different things you can make, that's for sure. All right, so we just got done with the Vera wood. Oh, I got 2 thick pieces of curly maple. Yeah, this tiger maple is very stripy. So we'll cut these out next, and then we'll move to the mahogany because there's a lot of mahogany here. And then we also have some aromatic cedar, which should be fun. And then some cherry, and then some bacote. So we're using a number 7 blade right now. So this is a 16-inch buck tool scroll saw. We're currently at 10.5 hours cutting with it, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're not doing a lot of production work, it might take you quite a while to get 10 hours on the saw. So. how nice a finish we get off the saw. I mean, it's curly, so it's stripey, but you see the sun, the light bouncing off it. All right, Jay, have a good day. Yeah. Nice part about scroll saws is they're band-aid injury makers. Yeah. Well, right now, my the business making these is doing really well. So it's definitely hard to add more onto it right at this point. Yeah, I'll look into it. You know, after the holidays. Right. You know, it's starting to get to that time of year where sturgeon decoys are a big thing around here. Hello, welcome in, Art. How are we doing today? I've been looking for a fire starter, candles to make fire starters with at thrift stores. And man, they do not give candles away at thrift stores anymore. Crazy. I'm gonna have to buy wax. I know, right? But if they're selling, you know, a basic candle, the basic, you know, stick candle for like $2, I mean, crazy. It's like I have to look into like, you know, now is not a rummage sale time of year up here. I'm in Wisconsin, a little cold for that, but you know, estate sales, you know. And the worst part is I make these fire starters for myself, so I don't sell them or anything. But they're just nice, you know. I just take those little Dixie cups, the ones that used to be in bathrooms all the time in the 80s, and about 3/4 sawdust and wax. And it's just so nice. Throw some kindling in, throw that in, and they burn for like 15 minutes. It's crazy. Hello! Is it Comet? From Turkey. Welcome in. Hey, right side, Fred. Yes, another day, another drop spindle. So this saw, we're currently at 10 hours and 36 minutes of cutting on this thing. So I wanted to get to 20. I might do the review after 15 hours. And then like the next day after the video's released, do the last 5 hours. I think might be okay. So I'm like a day behind on the review. I had a question for them, and then I had to wait to see what they wanted to do. So So this is like the first time that they've made this saw, the 16-inch saw. And it's made on the same line that they make their big saws, their 22-inch saws. And they put in the controllers for the 22-inch saws on these when it should have been a different controller put in. So this one right now, it's running at 350 strokes per minute for the slowest speed. And it doesn't have enough power. Like I'm able to, I can stop it. So what happened was it's running at 350. It should be 550. So if you turn it up to the actual speed, so this is what the speed should be, and then it's fine. Right about there. Then it's fine. So no big deal. The range is still the same. It still maxes out at the same speed. So it was just nice to know that I'm not crazy. Hey, W, welcome in. So I'm cutting 5/8 inch thick tiger maple. It's hard maple. Thanks, honey. Thank you. Do we sell those or no? What's up? Okay.
I'm gonna go sit on the couch.
Okay. Do you want to go home?
I do,
You can go home.
but it's 3:30. I can sit on the couch and turn the TV on. Or
Okay. Well, I'm still probably gonna be here for a few hours, so.
I figured.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can take a nap or whatever if you want to
Yeah, it's fine.
watch TV. Oh. Have I ever made wooden toys? Yes. Yeah, I've made quite a few wooden toys. I used to sell wooden toys on Etsy. I made a lot of wheeled toys. Gotta go a little bit taller. So the big thing with wooden toys is, as far as the choking hazard goes on it, you know, if you take a paper towel tube, if you can put something in that tube and it fits, it's too small. So then it would dictate having a, age 3+ small piece warning on it. But I am not a lawyer, and there is a lot of there could be some issues with wooden toys, so be careful. Hello, how's it going, Antonio? Welcome in. Right. This wood is pretty. Okay, welcome in. There we go. If you guys are just tuning in, we are working on a scroll saw today. This is a Buck Tool 16-inch scroll saw. This one I got off Amazon. So yeah, Buck Tool sent me the saw to give a review for. So we're breaking it in and we are cutting on it. And we're cutting on it and cutting on it. Because the taste of the pudding is in the eating, right? That's not right. The proof of the pudding's in the eating. There you go. You're watching street vendors using a simple string-powered lathe to make gifts. Amazing what they can do with very primitive tools. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep, you can go make a spring lathe by setting up next to a sapling and using that for power. All right, so that's it. Last of the curly maple. Now we have two. This is Bacote. Quite a few different varieties. I do domestic spindles for me, which are maple, hard maple, cherry, and walnut. And then honey locust will be thrown in there on occasion. And then I do quite a few different exotic woods. So everywhere from purple heart to bacote to mahogany to... I forgot to cut out these two that are Vera wood. So we'll cut these two out now. I was thinking my blade wasn't dull enough. There we go. Thought it felt relatively easy today. So yeah, I usually have about, I don't know, 8 to 10 different exotic woods in stock. But it will vary. Around here, Wenge got really hard to find. Do you have a website? Yeah, it's snyderspindles.com is one of them. So yeah, this channel is primarily for doing projects and reviews. It's just I have to get a bunch of hours on this saw. So yeah, if you go to snyderspindles.com. Yeah. My new nitty natties. And also on Etsy. Not a problem. It's like working with concrete. Yeah. Yeah. Some of these exotic woods are very, very sucky to work with. Yeah, so SnyderSpindles.com is for domestic orders, and then all our international orders we use Etsy. It just makes things a little bit easier. Hey, Lolly, how's it going? Welcome in. So this saw does have dust extraction. Basically, there's a clear plastic piece that clamps on the bottom. Well, it screws in and then there's a magnet on it. So you can run a vacuum. So anything that falls in these holes will get vacuumed up. I'm not a big fan of it gets in the way when you're doing like blade changes, so I would rather not have it on. But you know, that's a personal choice. So yeah, there's no suction coming out here. The suction is all below. So it's passive, it's not active. Like my Pegasus, it has like a ring around here with a vacuum line where it's actually vacuuming it down where this falls down. So that being said, the Pegasus costs over 3 times more than this saw. That being said, you know, the actual cutting is very similar. Yeah, the one that costs more than 3 times as much is a little bit smoother and has less vibration. But how can you really compare that? Oh, the girlfriend's making popcorn. So we have one of those popcorn machines where you put the oil in it. Looks like a movie theater popcorn thing, but smaller. I know, I can smell it.
Not enough salt and butter.
Not enough salt and butter?
Yeah.
Then why are you giving it to me? Oh, it's good. Hello. Let's see. Hello, Anna. I missed you before. Louis, hello. Pedro, welcome in. And another Louis. Hey, how's it? Welcome in. I'll be right back. No, I added too much salt. All right, we'll get cutting again. Yeah, so with the popcorn machine, I ordered like Snappy oil. So it's the oil like they use in movie theaters. And then I got the same butter flavored salt. It's amazing. And I don't have to pay for movies. Hello, G. And hello, Sue. Welcome in. Brazil. All right, so that's the last of that. Then we'll move over to the bacote. So, yeah. So bacote comes from Mexico. I'm not sure how far the tree goes south. Hello, welcome in. All right. So, half-inch thick coat. We're just going to peel the pattern off. So the patterns, we put down blue painter's tape, and then we use spray adhesive and we glue on paper patterns. That way when we're done, we can just peel the patterns off and we don't have any residual glue to deal with. So it's Saturday, so it's our day off. But I wanted to get this done, so. So the girlfriend was nice enough to come with to help lay out all these spindles and drill the holes. I'm going to see how nice of a finish we're getting with the saw. Shiny. So now we're just going to make sure the holes are centered. So to do that, I'm just running a rat tail bastard file down it. Hello, D. How's it going? All right, got another one. Also Bacote. Thank you, honey. It is difficult, especially if the person you give it to is gonna bitch about it. Good. Yep. We're grabbing a machinist square. I'm just gonna blow this off. Yeah, this blade is dead on. Very square. Gonna swap the blade out. So we're gonna stick with the PGT blades, the Olson Precision Ground. We are a quiet bunch today, aren't we? I mean, it's not a bad thing. So this is 5/8 inch thick genuine mahogany. Pretty stuff. Smells good. Smells of rich mahogany. And leather bound books. So we're using a number 7 blade. Ooh, I'm gonna go turn some music on. All right. Sorry about that. I wish there was smell-o-vision. Mahogany smells so good. All right, so we're over 11 hours into testing the saw now. Um, as far as insights go, I haven't cut on a 16-inch saw for quite a while. Normally my saws are 20, 21, 22 inches throat depth. This is a much smaller saw, but it's so solidly built. So this has mainly all the same components as the higher end saws, except for it's just a smaller saw. And this kind of falls into like 99% of the stuff I would ever cut on it. You know, even up until the 90s and early 2000s, 16-inch saws were very, very common. I mean, as far as a double parallel arm saw goes, with these two arms here, I mean, less common for the 16 inches. A lot of them are single parallel. Let's see, Abdul, hello, welcome in. Hey, Eddie. Welcome in. AT, Artemis, welcome in. So right now we're cutting out Turkish style job spindles or cross arm spindles. We're cutting mahogany. So we have this little pile of mahogany here yet, and then we'll go back and then, cut out all the mortises. I'm running out of room. I have to set this aside. I'm not going to go too far. So the most important thing about using a scroll saw is take your time and let the saw do its work. It doesn't make sense to push a whole bunch of pressure onto your saw, because then you're just bogging down the motor, and these are tiny little blades. If you force them, you're not going to be cutting straight up and down. So take your time. So if you're just tuning in, we are cutting 5/8 inch thick mahogany. We're making Turkish style drop spindles or cross arm spindles that are used to spin yarn. So this is what came before spinning wheels. But the main reason for doing live streams are we are putting hours on the saw. We're testing it out. Buck Tool sent me the saw. It's their brand new 16-inch double parallel arm saw. And honestly, I'm digging it. I really am. So yeah, this corner over here is my testing and recording corner. I do also live stream from another part of the room where I have my main production saw. So it's kind of nice hanging out in this corner. It's been a while. So I'm trying to get motivated back into making more videos rather than just live streaming. verifying that the holes are centered. All right. Now we're going to cut out the mortises on this little pile we have going right now. So the saw does have a pin in the back. When you pick up the arm, it will lock in place. That comes in handy if you're working with a large piece where you're going to be cutting like holes in the middle of the wood. And the nice thing about the 16-inch saw is I can actually reach the pin. The longer saws, we ended up having to make a lever. I had to move you out of the way because you were right in my shoulder. The path of my shoulder. Yeah, so as far as testing the saw goes, I basically I'm doing production work on it, so I'm just not using my normal production machine. And it's holding up, I mean. My only complaint is I wish I had a different chair over here. On my production machine, I'm sitting in like a nice office chair, and the saw's at a huge angle, and everything kind of just, all the little wood chips kind of just fall down into a bucket underneath the saw. Where this one is more, it's flat, it's just easier to film. Hey Robert, how's it going? Welcome in. Hey Jan, welcome in. So we are cutting mahogany right now. This is genuine mahogany. Now you can see how the light's reflecting off the wood. We're getting a very, very, very nice finish off the saw. Just going to peel the pattern off. So our patterns, we use blue painter's tape and then use spray adhesive and glue the pattern to the tape. So we're basically making stickers that we can pull off and throw away. Some people like using clear packing tape or normal masking tape. The reason we go with blue is because blue sticks out like a sore thumb. Sometimes clear tape or masking tape, you can miss it. And then you go to sand it and you make a big gooey mess. So with the blue painter's tape, that's not an issue. Unless you're colorblind, which I am not. I'm just normal blind. And I have very selective hearing. So I'm very lucky. I am able to make a living with my woodworking. And we do well enough where my girlfriend also works full-time with me. So find your passion. I know these look very, very simplistic, and they are, but the weight distribution, the weight of the spindle, the size of the spindle, everything kind of matters. And balance is very important with these. So, and that's one thing I don't share, our balancing procedures. That's the secret sauce. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, we are cutting out drop spindles for spinning yarn. This is my day job. We are also testing the saw. We're going to be doing a review video on it. This is the new 16-inch buck tool scroll saw. So Buck Tool got a hold of me, ironically, the day after I ordered another one of their items, and asked if I wanted to do a review on the saw. So I did a review on the Bauer scroll saw. So I said yes. Hey Brownbow, how's it going? So I'm just running through his paces. Originally I was going to put 20 hours of cutting on the saw. Right now I'm at, let's see, 11 hours right now. It'll be 12 hours in another like 20 minutes. So, if anything was going to go wrong with the saw from the factory, it would have already gone wrong. All right, check. And I think the best part is this is very competitively priced. Which is kind of nice. There wasn't a whole lot of middle ground in the scroll saw market for quite a while. Either you could get like $100 Wen, and then I went from like $100. This compared to that, there's no comparison. Totally different machines. This one comes in at like $350 on Amazon. Now, if you're looking at like the DeWalt 977, I think those are like up to $600 now. Which seems a little silly. Now you can get more professional saws, and then it jumps up to, "Hey Juan, how's it going?" No, it's not. It's I was gonna say, "Jay, how's it going?" You know, is this $1,000 saw? No, it's not. It's a $350 saw. Is this saw? Is a $1,000 saw 3 times better? Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, isn't it? I mean, if you're going to use a saw every day of your life, and if it's what you use to make money, maybe you can justify that expense. That's what I did. But I really feel like this style saw is really gonna help out the whole scroll saw art thing, just because it's fairly priced for what it is. And it's really cute. Look at that. So the arm does lock, but unlike the larger 22-inch saws, you can actually reach this pin. So you don't have to, stand up and reach to the back. Or I have a video where we built a release. So basically you had a lever that would stick out and you just press on the lever. Or I can just walk over to that saw. So this is a 16-inch, right? Now this is a Bauer 22-inch. So they're coming out of the same factory. But that pin is so far over there that my belly's touching. I can't reach it. So we made this release. So bring that in and you can drop it down. I do have a free pattern for that on the website, on my YouTube channel, if that's something you're interested in. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not going to be producing those for sale. So if you want one, you can make one yourself. All right, now what do we got left here? So we got 2 pieces. Well, we got 6 spindles made out of honey locust. So honey locust is pretty. Not one of my favorite trees. If you've never seen a locust tree, it's got spikes on it. And when it fruits, it makes this really long pod with big seeds on, and they're very sweet. And they fall down on the ground and get all rotten and attract a lot of bugs. It's kind of like I don't want a locust tree in my yard, and I don't want like a weeping willow. Leaves are bad enough to deal with, Let's see. Hey, Frank. Welcome in. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Mano. Welcome back. All right, I think we're gonna switch the blade out. I'm gonna try going down to a number 5. This, if not, we'll swap it out for a bigger one. So this is a number 5 PS Wood Machine Super Sharps. They're a very aggressive blade. I like them. Hey, Matt. Welcome in. Unfortunately, I only speak English. Thank you, America's educational system. This is not a reverse tooth blade, so we will get some fuzzies on the bottom. They're going to be all sanded anyway. Hey D, welcome in. So we're cutting some honey locust. Hey, David. Welcome in. So, if you're new to the stream, we are cutting out drop spindles that are used for spinning yarn. And we are also in the middle of testing this saw for a review. This is a 16-inch buck tool double parallel arm saw. In about a couple minutes, we'll be at 12 hours of cutting. Not today, but over the last couple days. Hey, Lawrence. I can't complain. I mean, it's Saturday. It's almost 5 p.m. I'm sitting in my nice warm workshop. My girlfriend's in the front room, either napping or watching TV. So. Oh, by the way, Lawrence, we're a quiet bunch today. I'm not sure why. So let's see. I see him been working on the same scroll saw and boxes by Steve Good. His rose box. Nice. Yeah, Steve Good definitely has a lot of patterns. Yeah, a few years back, I made Steve's cornucopia, and I made a YouTube video of it. And then he actually, this is my other channel, and he actually featured me on his website, his blog. Pretty awesome. So for one day, my numbers spiked really high and then right back down. The power of Steve Good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I think I'm going to cut it down to 15 hours because I've been cutting on the saw for 12 hours, and if there's something wrong with it, it's gonna show itself by now. I don't know. The rose is full of firework, I bet. Just little trinket boxes. Yeah, those are cool. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just hoping after the holidays I'll have some downtime. Or better yet, a little bit of breathing room where I can make some more fun stuff. Not that this isn't fun. I mean, I've had the time of my life. And nobody puts baby in the corner. Yeah, I don't know why. I've been stressing about doing this review. There's nothing wrong with this saw. Yeah, I've been just concentrating on putting hours in on the saw, so I have a whole bunch of arms and I don't have the shafts made for this. So I'm like, if I spend a week on the saw, I'm gonna have to end up spending a week on the lathe too. And I'm just so happy, you know. I'm really glad they came up with this size. You know, I was really considering getting a different 16-inch saw like a couple years back, but the price was pretty for what it was. It was just I might as well just get a bigger saw from a different brand, but. You know, if you have a small workshop where you don't make big things, I don't make big things, this would be a great size. It's got all the modern bells and whistles you could want. You know, it tilts on a rack and pinion. It has dust collection if you plug it in. I mean, it fits Pegasus chucks if you want to swap the chucks out on it. Although this chuck, as unrefined as it is, has really grown on me. My Bauer has the same chuck, and it's been a year and no issues. Hey, Rage, no offense or anything, and I'm not, but that's okay. You were in here before. A few days ago, I had to mute you for you continuing to call me gay. You know? You be you. I mean, we're not going to stop and make a big deal about, oh, let's talk about Rage and how great Rage is. So. Yeah. I'm 50. I don't have time for your shit, to be honest. Yeah. And I have a spare set of Pegasus chucks that I pulled off of the Delta I was running. They are nice. You know, I also have a Pegasus saw too. So they're definitely more refined than these. We'll put it that way. These are fully functional. Yeah, I made a short about a year ago talking about how they fit on the Bauer saw. And even though I bought them for like the Delta saw, which is, you know, like the DeWalt, where it's got the tensioning knob here, I still bought the one with the tensioning arm. Because there's just so much clickety click 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 you can do in your life. Yeah, so the Delta 978 and the DeWalt, it's a 977? That saw and the Delta, having the tensioning up front, so what you were doing was pulling a large rod that tied into a pivot point, into like a triangle, way in the back of the saw. And over time, man, that thing would just wiggle itself loose and just be a pain in the tuchus. So, hey, MLT, how's it going? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. All right. We now have 12 hours in on the saw. Woohoo! Could be. No worries there. I used to stream on Twitch. All right, guys. I'm going to finish cutting out this one, and then I'm going to call it a stream. It's 5 p.m. It's time to go home and make some food. Hey, Junior. Alrighty. So I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. So I think I have one more day of this. And then I'll have enough hours in. So we'll go from there. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely be live streaming again on Monday. I think I'm going to take tomorrow off. So, all right, guys. Have a great day. And we'll catch you again. Thank you guys so much.